In my video going over my goals over the next quarter, I mentioned we're going to start back on the Skylark, and that's what I'm doing today. This thing has pretty much been sitting for a year now. It's really hard to source parts too, so if you could drop links in the description or drop links in the comment section of where you can source like old school parts from like 70s cars, I would love to know. I look at Rock Auto, but sometimes they don't have all the stuff. Especially for Buicks, it's kind of uncommon car. A Skylark is kind of uncommon. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do right now is push this out because there's no space over there. There's no space to get in, and I need to get under and attach the exhaust. There's two exhausts that attach from the headers to the actual pipes. I go back. There's a dual exhaust, the true dual exhaust. I need to attach those. So I need to do that. I need to figure out the drive shaft situation and the transmission mount. If that's all done, I forget if it's already mounted up or not. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I might need to fabricate some pieces for the drive shaft, but I'll explain that later. In the trunk here, we have some other parts I need to put on. There is a power steering pump right here, and this needs to go on, but it's pretty dirty and clapped out. So I'm gonna clean it up and try to paint it maybe. So that needs to go on. And I need to look for the water pump. I think we have a brand new water pump for this thing. Or maybe it's already on there. Yeah, it's already on there, but I need to start attaching accessories. And yeah, so that will be the plan of action for today. And if I get done with all that, then I'll start on something new. But yeah, so that will be what I'm starting out right now. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop wasting time. It's really hot outside, but I'm gonna push this Skylark out a little bit and get to work. So I just put the power steering pump in this bucket here. I'm going to use Super Clean right here. And I'm just going to kind of pre-soak all this stuff in that. I can already see dirt and stuff coming off. The fumes, man. Just going to go ahead and pre-soak this all in that real quick. Jesus Christ. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start to fix up the exhaust. And if you guys don't know what these are called donuts. And I don't think they really use these in modern cars anymore. But basically, there's a flange that goes in between the headers on this side and the actual start of the exhaust on the other side. So this just goes in between the flange right there. And that's what they look like. This is the one I had originally from Rock Auto. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's not the right size. So I went to O'Reilly's to pick up one of these, but we had to dig around the parts bin for a long time and get one of these. So I'm gonna have to go get another one. I just picked up one. This is like $2, just to see if it will fit. So I'm gonna go under there and try to fit it up. There's not really a good camera angle I can get for you guys, so I'll let you know what happens after I get this done. In the meanwhile, I'm letting the power steering stuff all start to soak in this Super Clean stuff. I usually buy Purple Power, but this stuff seems to work pretty good. And as you guys can see, the paint is starting to peel away, and that's probably because how potent that power steering fluid is, kind of like brake fluid and stuff. It just kind of gets everywhere. So what I'm going to do is hit this with black, hit the bracket with some black. Look at this nasty water. That is from all the grease and maybe even just a little bit of power steering fluid mixed in there. Yeah, so I'm going to let that soak, kind of get clean, and then I'm going to hit that with a few coats. But the plan of action is to start with the exhaust. So I was trying to get the So I was trying to get the exhaust to fit up on the driver's side with one of these donuts, but what I forgot when I was taking it apart is that this side had actually a heat riser. If you guys aren't familiar with what a heat riser is, there's a vacuum line that attaches here, and it pretty much pulls it and closes this valve right here, as you guys can see. See that right there? And what this does is it's pretty much kind of like a choke, or I guess that's what my dad says. I should just get him on the video to explain this, but basically what he was saying is when the engine is cold and it needs to start, it closes this valve up here, and that traps all the gases pretty much, kind of, and it increases the temperature in the engine and warms it up. I guess that's the theory behind it. I don't know exactly how it works, because the exhaust has to flow out, right? But if you guys are knowledgeable on what exactly this is, then leave a comment below. And see, the exhaust gasket is actually on here, right there. So here's the donut, and you guys can see the similar how it looks. So I'm going to slap this on, and then the exhaust should fit up. I had a transmission linkage, pretty much the shift linkage. I forgot to connect that, so I had my dad went ahead and connected that for me. But anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and put this on, put on the exhaust, and it should bolt up really nicely. This connects to the 2-barrel carburetor that was originally on the other engine, but since we have a 4-barrel on there now, it's not going to work. So, or at least that's what I think it's not going to work. So we're just going to attach this vacuum line somewhere else, or I don't think the 4-barrel needs it, so not a big deal. If we need it or something else, we'll just deal with it later, but for now we're just going to set this in place without any vacuum lines attached to it, so all the time it will be open. Alright, just got the power steering attached here. As you guys saw, my dad was demonstrating, you just put the breaker bar in here. It's kind of like a tensioner pulley, and that's how you tension the belt here. Attaches to these three to the block, and there's just these holes, 1, 2, and the one in the back is slotted. So what that does is it helps, you can adjust it so it can twist and turn. This bolt right here, I think I stripped it inside the engine, so we might need to tap that one out. That kind of sucks, but that's pretty much done. The power steering is done. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Today we're gonna go ahead and try to work on the fuel tank issue, the passenger side exhaust issue, as well as try to patch up this heater box. So I can show you here. So there's just a gaping hole over there, and yeah, so that's the heater box right there. There's all the AC and heater stuff over there, and I'm gonna get some fiberglass epoxy, and I'm gonna patch that up. I'm gonna go to the store. Alright, so I just got this fiberglass repair kit. I was gonna buy like the raw materials, like the mat and the resin by itself, but it came out to like way too expensive. So this was like $15 at Walmart. Like hardener, the resin, some mat, a spreader, and a popsicle stick. So, and I guess this is the tray you can mix it in, but I'll probably use something else. You know what, actually I'll just use this tray, or a used food container or something disposable. I might want to use this plastic to put back in the box when I'm done, because I'm not going to use all this. So I don't know, I never used this before. I've seen like Motion Auto TV use this a few times. I've seen a few people use it, so I'm going to do some research real quick, and then I'll get back to you guys when it's time to actually patch it up. Alright, it says to sand it with 80 grit sandpaper, so I have 80 grit sandpaper here. Alright, so now I just have some soapy water. I'm just going to clean the area from the dirt and the grime, as well as the dust I just created. We have a bunch of this fiberglass cloth here, and I need to cut it to about 1 inch larger than the size here. So let me go ahead and I'll just make a template out of this sandpaper. Kind of like this size. Just gonna cut it just a little bit bigger than I have to make it. And then you gotta cut a few of these, so I'm gonna cut like 4 or 5. I'm just going to use this popsicle stick, and hopefully this will work, kind of. This isn't working too good, but it's kind of working.
Okay, everybody back to the lab. Try again.
So that's what it looks like with about 4 layers of resin and the matting. So it says it takes about 2 hours to cure. So I'll let this cure and see how that is. If I screw it up, then I might have to start over or something. But I'll check. I guess I'm just working on some other stuff while that's drying. Watching some Adam LZ hot dog break.
What would you do without me, run?
You want no exhaust. No exhaust, man.
I know, you just keep trying to keep your daddy fresh.
Yeah. Keep those muscles active, my man.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Tomorrow, when I do like this, I'm gonna say, okay, son, come stretch me. I can't move.
Alright.
Put a new wheel on that grinder, man, and I'll work on this thing here since I'm in the front. Just a minute.
Okay. Cool with me? Alright, so we got the exhaust on this side attached, finally, and also discovered another hole in the heater box slash air conditioning box or whatever. What is it?
Condenser box.
The condenser box. And yeah, so I'll just fill that in with JB Weld. It's like a really small hole. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is pretty much dry now. It's been like 3 hours or so since then.
Screw hole or something that mounts on the side of there.
Huh? No, that's a dent.
That hole.
Yeah. Anyways, so I think my dad is about to work on this. What's this for? Alternator bracket, and it mounts up right here. But the problem is this little brace on the side right here is running into the header. So I think we're gonna get a cutoff wheel or a grinder and grind away to see if we can get that to fit properly. The header?
The valve.
Or the valve cover?
Actually, after I modify this,
Yeah, it might bring it down.
I might let it come down further. So,
I have a marker here. I can mark it for you.
well, I'm just gonna
I'll just continue kind of.
come across.
Alright, so way in there, as you guys can see, that gray JB Weld. I patched up that hole. Should hold just fine. I don't see any other holes. I inspected. The epoxy is pretty much dry. I just had to drill a few holes for some of the electrical stuff that mounts to there in that location. So that'll be, I'll do that sooner or later, probably right now. The bracket, I just cut it up and it's good to go. It's over there. It's over there getting painted right now, but so yeah, so really good progress today. So we got the fuel tank out. Comes out with these two straps.
These are tank protectors. Two straps are underneath.
Yeah.
Supports it. And you have a frame that supports the filler neck.
Okay.
Right behind the license plate. Goes right in that area. This assembly right here is the retainer for your float assembly, which is your float registers your fuel level. You have to take this lock ring off to retract that.
So this is just like in the modern cars, they have the fuel pump in here.
Fuel pump will be in this area.
And the filter and all that stuff is all in one.
Right.
So then the fuel pump is where?
The fuel pump on this vehicle is on the motor.
All right.
We call it a manual fuel pump, which is
That's
down below.
Is that a little gold type of color? So then how does that work?
It has a little eccentric that runs off the lobe on the front end of your cam. It's like a little finger. The cam lobe hits it, and it pumps it.
It pumps? I think you have one in the trunk that I could use. Somewhere in here. I think I saw it yesterday. Or maybe in the box back there.
Yeah. Some people keep everything. Anyway, it works like up and down. The spring tension keeps it up.
Yeah.
And the cam, as you can see, the wear spot, it rubs. It makes it actuate up and down. And you got a little diaphragm in here that acts as a pump.
Okay, and then this.
And it supplies. So this is your supply line.
Okay, so this runs from the fuel tank.
This is from the tank, and this goes to the engine.
To the engine, okay.
Well, this will go to the carburetor.
The carbs, yeah. Okay. So that's how that works. And then the modern day engines, they just run off of just electricity. It's just like a pump. It's a regular pump.
Right. And the float actually is on the side of the filter. It rises and.
Yeah, and then there's also that's how they also use the gas gauge.
Yeah.
Then how do they know how the gas gauge works on here?
This one swings left to right.
But then how does it send a signal? Oh, that's what. Okay, so that's the ground, and then that's what the other connector works. Okay.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. So how? Okay, and then these are the two fuel lines right here.
One float assembly. You recording?
Yeah. Of course. Nice.
That's your filter. Your pre-filter. And this float, I said it goes left to right, but this is your level.
Yeah, okay. So that just works how it normally does.
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess there's like
full.
some type of sensor in here.
It's got a little switch inside.
Uh-huh. And it sends a signal to the...
You know, sends a signal to the connection here.
And this is your pre-filter.
Pre-filter.
Pre-filter. Probably get another one of those.
Yeah,
right?
it all comes as assembly.
Okay. All right, cool.
And your tank looks to be good inside.
Oh, yeah, they can't see in there, but if you could like maybe switch it around. Yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks clean. Doesn't look like any. Yeah, there's no way you guys can see that, but there's still a good amount of fuel in there, but it doesn't look jelly or anything like that.
Yeah, there's no rust, no scale.
That's good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to empty the rest of it out, and then I'll actually I probably won't put that on yet till I get a new one of those.
Yeah, get a new sender.
Yeah, a new sender, and then the rest of the tank looks pretty good. I might hit the bottom with the coat of paint. I don't know, but
it's supposed to be silver, but
silver.
It got painted when I had somebody paint the car.
Paint the car. Okay.
Overspray.
Yeah. So what was the original color of the car?
That color, but
Oh, it
should have been buffed out, but that's the original color for it.
Oh, okay. Do you know what's the color name, or just call it blue?
I don't remember what the color name is.
Okay. Well, you figure it out some eventually. We're gonna have to redo that quarter panel too. I think they're like $70. Rock Auto. Alright, so what's this?
It's part of the build sheet for the original car.
Why would they keep it under the tank like that?
They put them in random places. It might even be one under the rear seat cushion.
Okay. Now this one, see, you can see cigar light, clock, courtesy lamp, ashtray. I'll try to scan this if I can take it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty fragile, but I'll probably try to reserve this, and then I'll just put it on the screen whenever. But that's cool. Yeah.
This gives you all the options of what was on the car when it was built.
Yeah. Some cars have this in, like a Ferrari has it in the front bonnet and stuff. So.
Yeah, they put them in random places.
Yeah.
Usually it's under the rear seat. Sometimes they put them in the glove box.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got pretty much almost all of the fuel out. Just, I don't know how much, maybe a few cups of fuel in there, but we got pretty much a good amount out, maybe 2 gallons worth or so. No?
About 2.5.
Yeah.
You know, whatever's left in there will blend in.
Yeah, we'll just blend it. That's what I was thinking. So.
You know, the purpose was to see if it had any scale or any buildup of rust in the tank, which
yeah.
it didn't, since it didn't have any moisture.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's the best kind of case scenario, huh?
Right. You know, if the tank was empty, then it would get some condensation, and then that's where you develop a problem. You're going to get rust.
Yeah, rust. Okay. You know? And it doesn't even look like there's like usually there's like it becomes a film too. Yeah. Like and then all this is shot, but I didn't
run the low grade. I ran medium or.
You're in that 105
actually,
octane.
I usually run the middle grade or the supreme grade.
Okay.
When I drove it, so.
Did they always have like just what's it called? 87, 90, 93, and 95 or 97?
It was about 93 at the time. It was the highest that you could buy.
Okay.
I think now it's 91.
Yeah. And also have E85, but they didn't have that back then.
E85 is bad on the rubber components.
Yeah. That's why you gotta upgrade all that stuff if you do an E85 conversion on your car or whatever. Right. And also the pump, and because you have to send more fuel in because it has a lower
octane
energy rating or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, the plan of action is to get some new parts for that. Maybe some new of these rubber pieces. We'll probably find that. Oh, the dust. So yeah, so we're probably just gonna slide it in. What time is it? You know the time? No? Okay.
5:09.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want my dad in the videos more. He has a lot more knowledge than I do when it comes to this thing and old school stuff. So let me know, and I can put him more in the videos and have him talk about whatever you guys want. I think what he talked about today was really informational and really good to know. So just let me know in the comment section below what do you want to know. I'll answer all the questions. I answer every comment. I read everyone. So I think we got a lot of work done. I'm gonna make these episodes like 20 minutes long or really long episodes. I don't want to bore you guys with some of the small stuff, so I'm just gonna make a lot of progress per video, and hopefully in a video or two we can get this thing started. There's not that much to go. As you guys saw, that checklist, we're just knocking them out one by one. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you liked it. Again, comment below any questions or comments you have. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I guess that's it, so I'll see you guys later. Peace.